Jai Hind everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Jai Hind, Historical Events of 14th February, a journey through time of 14th February 2025, Friday. Today's that is 14th February highlight in history. 1613, wedding of Princess Elizabeth and Frederick V of the Palatinate at Whitehall Palace, London. 1655, the Mapuches launched coordinated attacks against the Spanish in Chile, beginning the Mapuche uprising of 1655. 1778, the United States flag is formally recognized by a foreign naval vessel for the first time, when French Admiral Toussaint Guillaume Piquet de la Motte renders his 9-gun salute to USS Ranger, commanded by John Paul Jones. 1779, American Revolutionary War. The Battle of Kettle Creek is fought in Georgia. 1779. James Cook is killed by native Hawaiians near Kilauea on the island of Hawaii. 1797. French Revolutionary Wars. Battle of Cape Saint Vincent. John Jervis, later first Earl of Saint Vincent, and Horatio Nelson, later first Viscount Nelson, led the British Royal Navy to victory over a Spanish fleet in action near Gibraltar. 1804, Karadeorze leads the first Serbian uprising against the Ottoman Empire. 1831, Ras Marie of Yeju marches into Tigray and defeats and kills Dejamach Sabagadis in the Battle of Debre. 1835, the original quorum of the 12 apostles in the Latter-day Saint movement is formed in Kirtland, Ohio. 1849, in New York City, James Knox Polk becomes the first serving president of the United States to have his photograph taken. 1852, Great Ormond Saint Hospital for Sick Children, the first hospital in England to provide inpatient beds specifically for children, is founded in London. 1855, Texas is linked by telegraph to the rest of the United States with the completion of a connection between New Orleans and Marshall, Texas. 1859, Oregon is admitted as the 33rd US state. 1876, Alexander Graham Bell applies for a patent for the telephone as does Eliza Gray. 1879, the War of the Pacific breaks out when the Chilean army occupies the Bolivian port city of Antofagasta. 1899, voting machines are approved by the US Congress for use in federal elections. 1900, the British Army begins the Battle of the Tugela Heights in an effort to lift the siege of Ladysmith. 1903, the United States Department of Commerce and Labor is established, later split into Department of Commerce and the Department of Labor. 1912, Arizona is admitted as the 48th and the last contiguous US state. 1912, the US Navy commissions its first class of diesel-powered submarines. 1918, Russia adopts the Gregorian calendar. 1919, the Polish-Soviet War begins. 1920, the League of Women Voters is founded in Chicago. 1924, the Computing Rehabilitating Recording Company changes its name to International Business Machines Corporation (IBM). 1929, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Seven people, six of them gangsters, rivals of AI, Al Capone's gang, are murdered in Chicago. 1939, World War II, German battleship Bismarck is launched. 1942, World War II, Battle of Pasir Panjang contributes to the fall of Singapore. 1943, World War II, Rostov-on-Don, Russia is liberated. 1943, World War II, Tunisia campaign, General Hans-Jürgen von Arnim's 5th Panzer Army launches a counterattack against Allied positions in Tunisia. 1944, World War II. In the action of 14 February 1944, a Royal Navy submarine sinks a German-controlled Italian Regia Marina submarine in the Strait of Malacca. 1945, World War II. On the first day of the bombing of Dresden, the British Royal Air Force and the United States Army Air Forces begin firebombing Dresden. 1945, World War II. Navigational error leads to the mistaken bombing of Prague, Czechoslovakia by United States Army Air Forces squadron of B-17 assisting in the Soviet Red Army's Vistula Oder offensive. 1945, World War II. Mostar is liberated by Yugoslav partisans. 1945, President Franklin D. Roosevelt meets King Evan Saud of Saudi Arabia aboard the USS Quincy, officially beginning US-Saudi diplomatic relations. 1946, the Bank of England is nationalized. 1947, the Act abolishing all noble ranks and related styles comes into force in Hungary. 1949, the Knesset Parliament of Israel convenes for the first time. 1949, the asbestos strike begins in Canada. The strike marks the beginning of the Kuwait Revolution in Quebec. 1954, First Indochina War. Small French garrison attacked Doha is overrun by the Viet Minh after a week's siege. 1961, discovery of the chemical elements. Element 103 lawrencium is first synthesized at the University of California. 1966, Australian currency is decimalized. 1979, in Kabul, Setami militants kidnapped the American ambassador to Afghanistan, Adolf Dobbs, who is later killed during a gunfight between his kidnappers and police. 1983, United American Bank of Knoxville, Tennessee collapses. Its president, Jake Butcher, is later convicted of fraud. 1989, Union Carbide agrees to pay $470 million to the Indian government for damages it caused in the 1984 Bhopal disaster. 1989, Iranian leader Ruhollah Khomeini issues a fatwa encouraging Muslims to kill Salman Rushdie, author of the Satanic Verses. 1990, 92 people are killed when Indian Airlines Flight 605 crashes in Bangalore, India. 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft takes the photograph of planet Earth that later becomes famous as pale blue dot. 1998, an oil tanker train collides with a freight train in Yaoundé, Cameroon, spilling fuel oil. One person scavenging the oil created a massive explosion which killed 120. 2000, the spacecraft NEAR Shoemaker enters orbit around asteroid 433 Eros, the first spacecraft to orbit an asteroid. 2003, Iraq disarmament crisis. UNMOVIC Executive Chairman Hans Blix reports to the United Nations Security Council that disarmament inspectors have found no weapons of mass destruction in Ba'athist Iraq. 2004, in a suburb of Moscow, Russia, the roof of the Transvaal water park collapses, killing more than 28 people and wounding 193 others. 2005, in Beirut, 23 people, including former Prime Minister Rafik Hariri, are killed when the equivalent of around 1,000 kg of TNT is detonated while Hariri's motorcade drives through the city. 2005, 7 people are killed and 151 wounded in a series of bombings by suspected Al-Qaeda linked militants that hit Makati, Davao City and General Santos, all in the Philippines. 2005, YouTube is launched by a group of college students, eventually becoming the largest video sharing website in the world and a main source for viral videos. 2008, Northern Illinois University shooting. A gunman opens fire in a lecture hall of Northern Illinois University in DeKalb County, Illinois, resulting in 6 fatalities, including the gunman and 21 injuries. 2011, as a part of Arab Spring, the Bahraini uprising begins with a day of rage. 2018, Jacob Zuma resigns as President of South Africa. 2018, a shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida is one of the deadliest school massacres with 17 fatalities and 17 injuries. 2019, Pulwama attack takes place in Lethpora in Pulwama district, Jammu and Kashmir, India, in which 40 Central Reserve Police Force personnel and a suicide bomber were killed and 35 were injured. Thank you very much for your patience. Request for like, share and subscribe.